would be co-main event if it wasn't for the Ultimate Fighter finale. This is the Ultimate Fighter finale for the people who don't know, because I realize at this point a lot of us don't watch the Ultimate Fighter. We just don't. We don't know who's fighting. We don't know these people. We don't. Something about it is just.
I was saying the last one I watched was with Kimbo Slice. Yeah. I'm gonna just be honest.
Yeah. So now, we have Vicente Luque and Geoff Neal. Vicente has 21 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw or no contest. Not sure which one. Geoff Neal 14-4. Now Vicente did lose that last fight against Belal Muhammad, and everybody thought he was gonna win. Because he won the first fight by knockout. I think he underestimated Belal.
I don't think he really took Belal seriously, if I'm gonna just be honest.
I think he was prepared, but he just...
I think he was looking past him. You got Colby, you got Khamzat, you got Usman. He was definitely looking past Belal.
I don't think he was like really sleeping on him, but he just was looking forward to the bigger fights.
And I think also he thought he was going to finish him easier than what he was.
And Belal was really the lowest profile fight he's had in a long time. It was actually a step back. Think about it. The Tyron Woodley fight, you fighting a former champion. Stephen Wonderboy, that's a big fight.
That's interesting.
And then you got to fight Belal.
Now you got to fight Geoff Neal, which this is a horrible.
I really don't like this fight because I like both fighters. I really hate this fight, truth be told. But let's get back into it now. The height, they're both 5'11". The weight is going to be the same, obviously. The reach, slight advantage for Vicente by half an inch. The leg reach, what's the point of putting that there?
It matters because of head kicks and kicks. It matters.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be dependent on your distance anyway? Like, it ain't like they're going to be equally apart from each other and throwing a kick at the same time.
Yeah.
It's going to be whoever has the space to throw it.
It matters if you're fighting against a kickboxer who's 6'5" and they got long legs.
Yeah.
So it matters then. But say like if you're 5'10" and you fighting against somebody who's 6'5" and they got long legs, it matters. But if they're like the same height, then it really don't matter.
Yeah, but if somebody throwing a head kick at you, doesn't matter how long their legs are. The point of the matter is if you get hit with it clean, it's over. It don't really, ain't like you can calculate.
It matters because somebody like Wonderboy, his legs are extremely long for his height.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of matters then.
That makes sense. Now the win percentage by KO and for Vicente is 52%. That's really good because his submission percentage is 38%. So this man is looking at that's 80% finish rate.
Yeah. And who he didn't finish? He didn't finish Mike Perry.
No, that's 90.
We got 90%. Yep, 90%.
Whoa. Now we got Geoff Neal, 62 by knockout, 15% by submission. That's not bad. 77%.
That's more than what I thought he did. I didn't know he submitted 15% of opponents.
Yeah, I didn't know he had no submissions. The decisions, 10% for Vicente, 23% for Geoff Neal. So he can't go to.
But he's been doing it as of late, though. When he first came to the UFC, he was knocking people out. Now he's more of, I'm going to win a decision, which is smart.
It's smart, but you want to get some of these people out of there if you can. The average fight time, there's only a minute difference. Vicente, 9 minutes, 11 seconds. Geoff Neal, 10 minutes, 2 seconds. The level of competition, I will say, for Vicente recently has been just a tier above Geoff. Like, Geoff has been fighting that right below, like, the Neal Magny. Well, they did both fight Wonderboy. But Vicente fought Tyron, who was a former champion, so they're automatically, it's a high level of competition. They're both averaging about a 1 knockdown.
A lot of these stats are similar. The only difference is it looks like Vicente goes for more submissions.
The significant strikes, 5.3 for Vicente, 4.63 for Geoff Neal. I didn't know Geoff Neal's was that high.
Accurate, yeah, I did.
Because it seemed like he's a little bit, it can be too patient sometimes.
Yeah, tentative, a little bit.
It seemed like he'd be a little bit too patient sometimes.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the fight, even if he loses close fights, it feels like he didn't do enough or he could have done more.
It seems like his volume, his output not there a little bit, yeah.
And then the 53% of significant strikes landed for Vicente, 49 for Geoff. Vicente has a slight edge in all these categories.
It's weird because Geoff Neal, he absorbs 4.91 strikes per minute, but his striking defense is great. It's 62%. So his striking defense is high, but he absorbs a lot of strikes per minute. So it's kind of weird.
Explain that to me because I'm kind of thrown off.
Meaning that like he absorbs a lot of strikes, but his striking percentage is high. So I guess he's getting absorbed with leg kicks and body kicks. He's not getting hit a lot with powerful strikes or whatever. Does it make sense? What I'm saying?
Yeah, because that is a way to beat him. Remember when Neal Magny did a bunch of teep kicks and leg kicks and jabs and that. Because you know Geoff, I see what you're saying now. Because when you think about Geoff Neal fight, he'll keep the high guard, and they'll kind of pepper around.
Oh, that's
the guard.
what's happening. So he's blocking a lot of strikes, but some are getting through here, there, here, and there.
Because his defense is immaculate. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Geoff Neal ain't about to absorb no whole bunch of big strikes from you. So that does make sense because that's the one way to beat him. You kind of pepper around him and kind of play that game like how Neil Magny did.
Oh yeah.
So I can see that right here. 5.18 strikes absorbed per minute for Vicente, 53% defense, just 10%, well, 11% shy of Geoff Neal. What does this mean for Vicente?
That means he gets hit more than what he should, to be honest. But he lands 5.8. He also lands 5 significant strikes per minute. So it's almost like for every one strike he lands, he gets hit with that one strike. So he takes a shot to give one, and it actually works out for him most of the time. But I wouldn't do that against Geoff Neal.
I wouldn't do that here. Grappling. Hey, I'm surprised this number looked the way it looked. 0.54 takedown average per 15 minutes for Vicente, and half a takedown for Geoff. So, hey.
Cause he go for submissions. He really don't go for takedowns.
And a lot of times when Vicente get people to the ground, he dropped them. When you look at the submissions and stuff like that and TKOs on the ground, that wasn't because he double-legged him and took him down. He put him down with something like kind of like Tyron Woodley, that fight. The takedown accuracy, 50%. Okay. The takedown defense is high for Geoff Neal. I think Vicente will try to mix it up here and implement some of that stuff because the Bilal fight showed that you have to exploit certain areas of people who don't have the experience.
And also, Vicente can't afford to lose this fight.
Exactly.
So he has to win by any means necessary.
And that means grappling more than we normally see him do. The submission average, 0.8, almost one submission per 15 minutes. And then 0.1 here.
I don't see a way of Vicente getting this fight to the ground.
So what's the final prediction for the fight?
It's weird. I'm 50-50 with this one because if you look at Vicente losses, he's been out-grappled. If you think about it, he hasn't been on strike. Against Michael Chiesa, he won that fight, but he was in bad positions. Against Bilal, he got out-grappled. That's not Geoff Neal's style.
And he got outstruck by Wonder Boy, but he also won the first round until he broke his hand. But he was cooking Wonder Boy up until that point, until he got injured.
The difference between Geoff Neal and Vicente, I think Geoff Neal has a game plan. He sticks with it. And that might be enough for him to win this fight against Vicente.
Man, I really hate this fight because I don't want to see either one of these dudes lose. I don't even have a final prediction just because we might make a video later on this week where I have to ultimately make a decision, but my heart just can't.
I was thinking about that.
This.
At first I was thinking, like, why did Vicente take this fight against Geoff Neal? And I was thinking about, but you got guys in the top 5 who worse than Geoff Neal. You got the Khamzats, you got the Colbys, you got the Usmans, the Leon Edwards.
Well, he also just lost, so he can't take a step forward coming off a loss either. So it was either going to be Vicente or Sean Brady or somebody.
I think he took Geoff Neal because Geoff Neal is more exciting than like the Sean Brady's. Like Sean Brady's going to grapple you. He's just going to try to out-grapple you.
That's true. Because you might be looking at a Bilal Muhammad replay versus Geoff Neal. At least the fight going to be standing up. So the stats are one thing, but if you look at how the fights play out, man, Vicente is very exciting. Very crowd pleasing with his style. I don't think he does it on purpose as far as trying to entertain people. I think his style is just very exciting. And Geoff Neal his fights can be exciting, but when he was on that stretcher, he was trying to get back in the win column. They weren't the most exciting that we've seen, but at this point, it's time for both of these guys to start making a run to the title. Vicente has beat a lot of people who have fought for the belt or had the belt or going on to fight for the belt. Geoff Neal has fought people who were kind of in a similar situation he was, where whoever can break out from that tier, they can go on to the next level. So this is an important fight for him as far as showing, hey, I can get somebody out of there and go to the next level and start getting closer to this top 5.
I like to see Geoff Neal bring back that left high kick.
Yeah, 100%.
That'd be crazy. He hasn't really been throwing it as much as he did when he first came to the UFC.
Look, now I'm thinking about it. I think Vicente might mix it up on Geoff a little bit too much. Because Vicente got a whole lot of tools and he'll use all of them. The kicks, the punches, the elbows, he'll mix it up more. Geoff Neal likes to stick to the boxing and he likes to set you up for stuff that you can see coming. And you can see it, you can see the setup. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It could be a little bit robotic if that makes sense.
It is, but he has the significant speed advantage. He has a speed advantage.
But-
if Vicente couldn't land on Bilal,
But I'm gonna tell you something though. Geoff Neal, a lot of times you can see him overthinking, and that could play into other people doing what they want to do, even though they might not be better. I'm not saying Geoff isn't as talented or athletic, but even though the tools are there, you can see him mentally thinking about what am I going to do next, and that plays into other people. Like the Neal Magny fight. Well, first of all, he should have won that fight.
yeah,
First of all, he should have won that fight, so that shouldn't even be a loss. But Neal took advantage of the over analytical thing that Geoff can do sometimes. And you don't want to do that because it's a 3-round fight.
he got to get a finish too, man.
need
All
a
that
finish.
point
Yeah.
point fighting.
You need a finish to really get your name up in there. But I am looking for this one. Let us know who you think going to win, who you putting your money on. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.